Some New York crime
The
ambience
cops
going
are
on.
here.
Yeah,
We
uh-oh.
are live.
Uh-oh,
This
you
is
got busted.
Soundbooth Theater Live.
Busted.
We're busted. So, we are getting swatted in live fashion. It's gonna be awesome. No, we are live. This is Soundbooth Theater Live,
Oh,
and
that's right. We
I'm
forgot the
Jeff.
music.
There's Ahmed.
I can't do the music.
Sin's down here with us. And yeah, we're in. So, Ahmed lives in New Jersey, but he came to hang out with me at my Airbnb in Queens. I've been here for, let's see, since last Thursday to go to New York Comic Con. That was fun. That finished Sunday. Then I came into Queens to have a little bit nicer place to stay. That's not quite as expensive as the hotels in New York. And I'm just hanging out here until it's time for Emily's wedding.
That's right.
So yeah, I've been hanging out in New York for the past week. It's been a lot of fun. Especially been fun hanging out with Mr. Ahmed here, who's been taking me to see music and go all over the place in Manhattan. And we even watched a show in Brooklyn last night. So yeah, it's been hella fun. And looking forward to Emily's wedding. I guess right now, first of all,
Hi,
we'll
Drew.
get to news. And first bit of news is I think we're gonna try and make this one a 1 hour stream. So I'm gonna try and cut the news relatively short. Thankfully, there's not that much news except number one, the Halloween sales going on. That is 20% off all of our spookiest titles on soundbooththeater.com. If you see anything on that list that you haven't tried out already, now's the time. Our cinematic audios are 20% off in that list, but only if you get the entire series or the entire season. And then also there's a bunch of audiobooks, Vampire Queen and Vampire Queen 2. What other audiobooks? Stone Cold Bastards, Numb. There's a lot on there, and it's all cheap. I mean, Numb you can get what, $4.80.
Oh, geez. That's a steal.
Yeah. So, yeah, guys, plenty there. Go check it out, and please let anyone else know who you've been trying to get hooked on our content before. Oh yeah, Melissa says she liked Stone Cold Bastards. That's one of my favorites. I really liked that one a lot. That one's Jake Bible. So yeah, please share with anyone you know who you think would enjoy our stuff, or you can still gift things. I'm pretty I wonder, you guys, if you try to gift things that's in the sale, be sure to keep an eye out. See if you're actually getting the what is it called? The discount. Oh, can we get rid of the sound? There we go. See if you're actually getting the discount. So yeah. Oh man, Susan always puts together these awesome overarching images. Shadow of the Raven.
Hi, Carl.
Shadow of the Raven. Stone Cold Bastards is a post-apocalyptic zombie story with gargoyles.
Yes.
And the gargoyles are like humanity's last defense. And it's not zombies, it's demons. So it's really, really, really fun.
Great book.
Yeah, really
great. It was a lot of fun to work on.
Yeah. So, yeah, we are sitting in front of a fire pit here that's on. We're warming up a grill here right after we're done with this Soundbooth Theater Live. We're gonna have some steak. We're gonna cook up some steak. So
that's why you only want it to be an hour. You gotta eat.
Yes, I gotta eat. So, also the only other piece of news. Do we have any releases? Tales from the Battered Mind, right?
Tales from the Battered Mind came out yesterday.
Okay,
yes,
so
yesterday.
that one is The Sphinx.
That was, yes, Fury of the Sphinx, narrated by Dory.
Narrated by Dory, written by Sarah King, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So yeah, guys, go jump on that. I believe that one's still free, right?
Yes.
But Tales from the Battered Mind will not be free forever, guys. Just letting you know.
Grab
at
it while
some
you
point
can.
in time, it's gonna cost money to actually get some of this stuff. So go pick it up while you can. Give it out as gifts while you can, while it's free. And any other releases that happened recently?
Just was it Shadow Agency?
Shadow Agency,
Yeah,
that's
last
right,
week.
and that's why we're doing Rango, a
Some
second
more
movie
anthropomorphized
in
animals.
support of anthropomorphized animals.
This
Yes.
cat's like, wow.
It's pissed. It's pissed off. So yeah, Shadow Agency by M.A. Carlson, narrated by Zachary Johnson, with support from myself and Emma Kate Starling. This is basically like a red wall of LitRPG. It's animals in an animal civilization, and it's a lot of fun. It's a real treat. So go ahead and pick that up if you guys have not already. That is on exclusively on Audible, and actually published by Single Player Books, who is Charles Dean and Ramon
That's right.
Mejia.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's a cool name. And I guess our last piece of news before we have our next Soundbooth Theater Live, October 31st will have rolled around, and we will have released episode 2 of the Dungeon Crawler Carl audio immersion tunnel. So if you haven't already, go listen to episode 1. It is free. When the rest of it comes out, we will charge per episode, but you can pre-order the entire first season right now if you want to, and then whenever new episodes come out, they just automatically get added to your library. So that's about it for news, unless you guys have news.
Me? No, I have no news.
Okay.
No, that was it. You covered all the releases and stuff.
All right. So then I think that what we should do is I want to do our read for today for the troll poll. The troll poll. Let's see. Do you remember what were the choices? I know what we have.
Yeah. No, I'm gonna pull up the community post now.
Yeah, let's look at that community
that
post.
ready.
So
Hang
for
on.
those of you who used to vote on our poll in our Facebook group, we have moved the poll over to our YouTube channel. YouTube has a good polling system that we can use, and we figure, hey, since it's gonna be on YouTube anyway, that's probably the best place for it. So you guys voted. We have, let's see.
All right, Ryan.
We have our post to look at here. Here we go.
Okay, one sec. Let me just pull it up for the people.
He's
then you'll be
going
able
to
see
share
on
it
the
so
screen.
that there's proof. We're not lying about what.
Oh, you know, I
one.
like.
Wait, can we can't see
charts.
the.
I like charts. More importantly, you can't. No, not yet. I'm almost there.
There we go.
I like charts. Look at these charts.
Okay.
Look at this chart.
Right. Yeah. Okay, so the new troll poll, we had an asexual James Bond knockoff by Bill Underbridge, which is the one that won.
Yeah.
So we're gonna have some opposite of fun there as
Opposite
as far.
of fun.
Well, I mean, if it's
Yeah,
If he's asexual,
but
yeah.
it's asexual. It's
What's
like,
the point
What's
of
the
view?
whole point of it? Yeah, exactly.
okay, Geneva Agnos, the AI by let's see, Terror Rebirth, Dawn of
Okay, so
Power
yeah,
by
so let me
Dave
explain
Barras.
this one. There was a little bit more of an explanation, and we had like a total of 100. Like, there's only a certain amount of characters, so I did my best to summarize. But this isn't a story that Jay Barras wrote, but he has Geneva Agnos written into the story, and
Okay.
he claims to have gotten permission
Okay,
from Geneva. I don't know if I believe him, but
I don't know if I believe me.
I don't know.
Yes,
Just because
exactly,
I don't
Carl.
know. I just don't know. So I'm gonna assume not. But so that was that story. So
Okay.
he wrote her into the story, and then we have the last one, the Unseen Game, and he said this is like a book called Critical Failures. And
Okay. So Critical Failures is a series. It's
Yes.
a LitRPG series, and it's actually like tabletop instead of video game, and it's
Ah.
really funny. I've listened to most of book 1, and it's
good. So
it's
he
a classic. for a
compared
reason.
his work to
Yeah.
that.
So
But,
okay, so but the asexual James Bond knockoff
Yeah.
got first place. Geneva Agnos got second place. No, it was the Unseen Game that got second place,
Yeah.
and then Geneva Agnos, the AI, got
That
third.
was
So
just-
we're gonna keep Geneva Agnos and the Unseen Game in for the next poll, but
oh
we
yeah,
need
we could do that. Yeah.
but we need more nominations for the next one. So when are we posting that?
Like tomorrow.
Okay.
Probably.
So tomorrow we'll have a post up on our YouTube channel asking for people to nominate things for
Yeah,
us to
and
troll
I've noticed people have also been just dropping stuff in the email. That's cool too.
Okay.
You know, I hunt them down in the email, and then by next week I'll build a new list for our next show.
Gotcha. All right. Cool. So, I have the email from Mr. Bill Underbridge right here. I believe this chapter, out of context, read with random silly voices would be amusing. Elf with a southern accent. That also reminds me of Critical Failures. Even though I don't know if that happens. Does that happen? No, you know what that reminds me of? Duralius and Associates. Also, this chapter has an asexual James Bond knockoff trying to thwart the advances of a bisexual collective of gunsmiths who enjoy group sex.
Gosh.
Okay, no, he brought the fun back in. It's
Yeah.
okay. I get it. The chapter has a lot of innuendo, but no actual sex in it. Attached is the excerpt I believe you would find amusing. Okay, here goes. So this is
Green
from
room?
Mr.
Yes.
So
Yeah, if
we
you'd
can
like.
focus on Jeff? Yeah, I'll sip on my coffee while you do your thing.
Okay, only sip though.
I'm gonna green room even though I'm right here. Am I actually gonna disappear in real life?
I think so. There we go. Okay, here goes. I don't see a title for this. So, Mr. Bill Underbridge, please tell people what the title of this is. It's on Royal Road at the moment, I believe. So here goes. Brand was sitting at a small coffee table close to their workstations. He was holding a mug and been conversing with them before our arrival. He stood and walked over quickly. Let's see. All right, I gotta come up with a voice for Brand. Doug, so good to see you, he said in an overbright tone. He grabbed my arm and led me closer to the CNC machine. Okay, story is world boss, break the narrative. And Bill, is the main character the Southern Elf? I feel like I accidentally got that right.
Just say yes so we can move on.
I'm gonna assume he is. He grabbed my arm and led me closer to the CNC machine. You have to help me, he whispered. What? I whispered back on reflex. Spine and the others were talking to each other. Okay, so it's not supposed to be. Fuck. He's gonna be Southern anyway. We'll have so the main character is gonna be Southern, and then when we encounter an elf, he's gonna be Southern too, but he'll be a different type of Southern, I guess. Spine and the others were talking to each other. The conversation seemed to be about Spine being able to talk. That looked like it was going to stay peaceful. Brand pulled my focus back to him. They are a collective of polyamorous bisexuals who enjoy group sex. Help me, he hissed quietly. Brand, I think of you as a friend, but only a friend. Perhaps I wasn't clear in the dungeon, mixed signals maybe, but I am not interested in doing anything sexual with you. There, boundary established. That wasn't an invitation, Brand cut in. Oh. Softening my expression, I patted his shoulder. Lift with the legs, not the back. Communication is key. Be accommodating, but firm with your boundaries. Dehydration is the enemy. Things like this are a marathon, not a sprint. It is okay to rest, so long as you don't quit. That was a good list. Although I figured he would know most of this himself, though. Brand gazed at me flatly. Maybe he's supposed to be English. We'll change him to English now. Mate, I am asexual and aromantic. I'm not interested in sex with anyone. I suspect that is at least part of the reason I have the boon. Perception check. Successful. Brand is telling the truth. That checked out. Adora is the worst. How'd you get into this situation? They had tea. I got distracted, Brand said, slightly desperate. Janie called over. Doug? Would you care for some tea? I turned to find her pouring a mug for Spine as he eyed it dubiously. Okay, which one's Spine? Alright, so Spine is a giant lizard. He'll be Mexican.
No, thank you. I won't be staying long.
Oh no, that's a shame,
Carla called, almost sounding sincere. Turning back to Brand, seriously, aren't you supposed to be smart? Brand shrugged.
Normally I am able to fend off most advances by gentle rebuke, and playing one suitor off of the other, I was not prepared for a coordinated effort by a well-organized force.
I nodded. Have you considered simply telling them no? I had literally just done that. It was easy.
Doug, that would be rude,
Brand said darkly. Seeing I was losing patience, he continued.
This could be considered a hostile act. More than once, that has resulted in a row breaking out.
I double-checked on the others again. You wouldn't think ammo productions to be erotic, but there was a handle. Haven was involved, and they were determined. Given that Lily wasn't wearing much beyond an apron and a smile, and Francis had a shirt tighter than my alpha male shirt, there was something for everyone, I guess. They don't seem the type to overreact to being denied sex. I mean, they have other options.
I have been surprised in the past, and I don't like taking the risk,
Brand explained. He looked tired. That's when I realized that boon Adora inflicted on him was a constant thing. Every person he met would be affected by it and influenced by it. It would push, then lead to either the violent clash we had when Angelica snapped out of its influence, or Brand would have to... Yeah, nobody won with that. Everything about that was just wrong. What the fuck, Adora? What do we need to do?
I need a buffer. So long as I am not the one directly preventing amorous intent, the boon will hold, and I can steer things to an amicable parting,
Brand explained. That is a fancy way to say he needed someone to cock-block him. Fair enough. Actually, this kind of works. Can I leave Spine with you, provided you can guarantee this won't get violent, or the other thing?
It absolutely won't get violent,
Brand answered quickly. Brand thought for a moment.
That could work. Follow my lead.
He turned and walked back toward the others.
I don't mean to impose, but Doug has asked if I could protect his ward, Mr. Spindlebite, for a time.
Janie looked less than happy.
Is this just a quick errand?
I honestly don't know. It could take all night. Sorry.
Oh, sorry. I apologize. I honestly don't know. It could take all night. Sorry. I apologized. I was sincere, too. They seemed nice enough. No one likes having date night take a detour. Brand, looking the picture of regret and the put-upon, said to the others,
Doug and I cleared a dungeon together. I owe him my life as many times as he owes me his. A bond like that cannot simply be ignored.
Holy shit, that looked convinced. They looked convinced. Face is a busted attribute.
I mean, that should be fine,
Janie said. I could see her hopes for the evening dying.
I am not some kid needing constant supervision.
Spine spoke up. Oh? Francis asked in a forced, casual way.
Yeah, I am 16. Almost,
Spine explained. Carla stepped away from the press.
Stupid thin walls. I'll find a board game.
I could leave Spine here. It'd be fine. All right, and that's it. That was fun. I liked that, Bill. Thank you for requesting it. Go ahead and, I don't know, request it again. Let's see if people want to hear more. But Bill said so Spine is the goblin. So he's a Mexican goblin. Is that what you're saying? All right. Just wanted to get clear. That was your intention. So, yeah. Thank you, Bill. Thank you, everybody, for voting on the poll. and let's see about talking about Rango.
Yeah,
And
I think that it's really good that we it's really good that we
nice.
I was like,
Nice.
what's wrong with Ahmed? He's having trouble getting his thoughts out. He was just trying to set that up.
I was tripping. Yeah, no, I was trying to set up Rango. I was very slow. No, I was saying that I think Jeff was like feeling Rango when he read that story. They were all like characters
Feeling
from
Rango, that's right. I know, right, Carl? It
They were
had to
all
happen at some
characters from
point.
Rango.
So Matt from Matt's Fantasy Book Reviews is here. Thanks
hey,
for
Matt.
coming, Matt. Good to see you. Hope you guys check out his YouTube channel. He's been reviewing Dungeon Crawler Carl and lots of different books. I don't understand how anyone has the time to read that many books. So kudos, man, for being out there fighting the good fight for us indie authors and narrators. Really appreciate it.
When you read a lot of books, are you a bookie or a booker?
A bookworm.
Bookworm.
Yeah, bookworm. So we watched Rango in honor of Shadow Agency releasing. The last SBTL we reviewed Watership Down, and the theme is of course anthropomorphized animals, because that's what Shadow Agency is all about. And it wasn't quite out when we did the last review, and we didn't really have another release that was thematic, so we felt like this was going with anthropomorphized animals was a good move. I mean, I just love anthropomorphized animals, gotta be honest. It's one of my favorite things.
Yeah, they're fun.
Yeah,
They're done right.
But to me, Rango has always ranked as a diamond in the rough. How the hell did this movie come about? Kind of mystery. Like it's so good, and I don't see what came out around that time to allow producers to give this a green light. It's clearly incredibly expensive.
Yeah,
as a movie.
It was.
The animation is absolutely incredible.
Phenomenal. It's great. CGI is gorgeous.
And it's a completely stacked cast. So I don't understand why this movie exists, but it does, and I'm thankful for it.
Absolutely. Yeah, I'd never seen it before. So when this movie came out, we happened to be at the beach at the time that it was still in theaters, and the kids were with us, and my husband and I decided we wanted to go. Well, I wanted to go see The Lincoln Lawyer because I'd read the book. And the kids and their cousin went off to go see Rango. So we met up afterwards, and they said they really liked it. I had only seen little clips of it here and there, especially that part when the bird lands behind him and he's talking and he has no idea the bird is there. And then when he sees the bird, he does this U-turn and starts walking real fast and walks. And
Yeah.
I had seen that scene multiple times, and it was really funny. I do not know why I didn't get around to watching this beforehand. This movie is so good. And the voice acting talent, I mean, Johnny Depp just completely knocked it out of the park.
Mm-hmm.
He was just, and then the snake, Bill Nye, oh my gosh. I was like, who is this guy? This voice sounds familiar. And I realized, it's Bill Nye. He's talking in an American dialect. That's why
I have to give it up. Yeah.
place.
That sound effect for this.
Oh,
is
yeah.
It's a rattle,
The
but
Foley?
it's a rattle, but it's a rattle that's a revolver.
It's a
Mm-hmm.
pistol. Oh, the
If
character
you listen,
designs.
it's incredible.
Oh my gosh!
Like
You need to listen to it with
is incredible.
earbuds. You have to listen to it with headphones or earbuds. I don't think
wish
you
I'd
can
done
fully appreciate it without listening to it that way, because
Yeah, no,
all
the
like the just the soft footsteps on the dirt. It was almost ASMR like for me.
Yeah, no, it's a great sounding movie from a design perspective. The music was beautiful.
the music
Johnny
was
Depp
hilarious.
was his character. I just incredible.
So good.
Like his portrayal of this character. I think the story is a universal one. It's not I don't know if it's specifically Don Quixote, but I think that it's a universal story, like about this character.
Well, it's slapped together from lots of different Hollywood.
It's a bunch of different Western tropes. It almost kind of parodies
altogether, it's
them.
all the Westerns.
Yeah,
in
Yeah,
one.
it almost kind of parodies them,
thank you.
but
This is a movie about movies.
Mhm.
yes, it is.
Yes.
And the whole
Exactly.
crossing
And
to the
he's-
other side of the road is a metaphor for death. You know, and then he meets the Great Spirit or whatever, which is this portrayal basically of Clint Eastwood with the voice of Timothy Olyphant. And a Facebook user, I can't tell who you were. I just must say, depends on how little your kids are. Because I mean, this is a PG movie. Do you know they wanted to give this an R rating? You know why?
What?
You'll never guess why.
Because
The
of
organiza-
because of the armadillo at the beginning?
You are never going to guess. No.
No, is it the jokes? The jokes about
You would think, right? No. It's because there were at least 60 instances of smoking.
Wow.
Yeah, so they wanted to give it an R rating.
Yeah,
And
and what's funny is
they-
I would have given
yeah.
it a higher rating for a bunch of other things. Like I did wonder why it was PG. Like it's such a if it's a kids movie, it's like
It's got
the
some
best
stuff
kids
that's
movie.
going to go
It's
over a kid's head, certain
Yeah.
references to things that kids won't get. But just the character design. They were talking,
Yeah.
I was watching this video essay about this movie, and it was excellent. I should link it in the comments at some point or put it in the private chat. And he was talking about you notice how the characters, they're not symmetrical. They have all these weird little things
yeah.
wrong with them. But for some reason, that just makes them even more endearing and interesting.
Yeah.
Rango's eyes are different. His little neck is crooked. The bunny has a missing ear.
Yeah.
And just the
An
CG,
arrow through the one guy's
the
eye.
arrow.
yeah, it's like I've got a conjunctivitis.
And some of the crazy dialogue and stuff, like that one
Yeah.
scene where that one character said, "I found a human spine in my fecal matter once."
Yeah, it's that's what.
What is it? It was so funny.
But it was so spot on, and I really. So it was a conglomerate of westerns.
Yeah,
he
but
was
even
this,
but not
he's
just
this
westerns.
kind of he's
not
an
just
actor.
westerns. Chinatown, man.
He's-
Yes. Yeah.
Right?
He's an actor, and he's kind of like faking his way through the whole thing. You know, like an actor
Yes.
Yeah.
might.
Exactly.
And it is a very interesting story. It's just I'm surprised it was Nickelodeon. That when
Yeah,
I see that at the front, I get confused. I'm like,
Right.
wait.
Exactly.
I'm like, how did Nickelodeon sign on to
Seems
this?
like
This
it
is
should be a
so-
DreamWorks film or something. And I had forgotten it said Nickelodeon at the beginning. I looked it up. Nickelodeon. This is Nickelodeon. What?
Nickelodeon. Yeah.
You guys, you know what the audience cinema score for this was? It surprises me because this movie is so good. It surprises me that the cinema score would be this low.
It's
What is it?
70, no? It's like 70?
Well, like IMDb and Rotten Tomatoes and I guess Metacritic have really good scores, but the cinema score is when they talk to audience members right after the movie or they fill out a thing. That's like right there when his first come out, and they get what the audience thinks about it or feels about it. They gave this movie a C+, which is not a good cinema score.
Yeah,
that
that's
surprises me.
Well,
Maybe they thought it was going to be more of a kid's
yeah,
movie,
maybe
and it's not really.
That's what I'm saying. Like so we just watched 2 weeks ago. We watched Paw Patrol or whatever back in the gang movie or whatever. I don't know. Anyway, so it was not for me. I was like kind of falling asleep. You know, like sometimes like I could do the CGI movies, but this one was like really basic, bottom level. My kid loved it. So I feel
can
like this is
imagine,
like
yeah.
the opposite effect is happening here. It might be just a little too highbrow for kids. It's like kids are going into here and like, I don't understand what any of this is about. Meanwhile, their parents are having nostalgia about Westerns and everything else and all these movies about glory and like the hero. And here we are, you're taking your kid, you're thinking it's going to be something and your kid can't really relate to it. I could see that being the problem. It's just really weird to have the Nickelodeon imprint on it. I think that's where it won an Oscar though, despite all
It
of
did.
that.
Yes, yes, it won an Oscar that year. It was
Which is forget about it.
It was interesting because it said that this was the first non-Disney or Pixar film to win an Oscar since Happy Feet. And the last one to win, the last non-Disney Pixar to win since 2018 Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. It was well-deserved. I wish I had seen this on the big screen.
What did it win for? That's the only thing I don't...
Best animated. Best animated feature.
Well, good. Yeah, it should have.
Yeah, it is brilliant.
Beautiful.
It's stunningly gorgeous to look at.
Yeah.
And what's really great about it is so many of the things that you're looking at are ugly. And that's why it's so stunningly gorgeous. It's it's so detailed, disgusting, dirty, gritty, just so much.
Like, I mean, the town is called Dirt.
Yeah,
so much personality, even just in characters that you see for just a little bit, like and that voices, spider that was working on the coffin. You only see him for a little bit, but he just had so much personality in his face.
Yeah.
And there was another crazy line I wrote down. It was so ridiculous. It was like, one character said, "It's a puzzle, like a big old mammogram." What?
Like a big old mammogram, and then he said, "We should get into the private parts of this." Yeah. It sounded like a improvisation that they kept.
Did you notice some of the weird, like when they were turning the spigot when they had this big old ceremony at 12 and they go to turn the spigot? Did you notice that one of the characters was wearing a stupid goggle and snorkel thing? Like, why? There was no water. Like little things like that. I think you could watch this movie many times and continue to pick up on some interesting things about the different characters that you didn't notice all the other times you watched it.
Yeah,
it was so rich. It was so full of just gorgeousness. I loved it. Yeah, it was really good. You know who he reminded me of? The way he played Rango. He's trying to be all tough, right? Cowboy. He reminded me of the Don Knotts character in the Apple Dumpling Gang. Not the whole time, but especially when things would go wrong. I don't know if you've ever seen the Apple Dumpling Gang, but have you ever seen Don Knotts in anything? Don't tell me you don't know who Don Knotts is.
Yes,
I know who it is. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, he just reminded me of Don Knotts a little bit when things would go bumpy for him. But also in the very beginning, I was getting some Walter Mitty vibes from him. From
Mitty?
Walter Mitty vibes. Yeah. Well, the original Walter Mitty. I never saw the remake. But, when he was doing all these imaginations of what he was, he had this huge imagination. He's in this aquarium, but he's got all these, it's just his world is so huge to him. I'm this, and then I'm this, and he's coming up with all these different scenarios and dreams. It was interesting.
It's like, because the shirt, I feel like almost gives it away as well, that he's decided to give the Hunter Thompson character kind of another go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they even
run
into him in the movie.
Yeah,
and the voice he has when he complains about Rango hitting him doesn't sound like him. It's like, wait, but did you even play yourself? That was interesting.
Yeah.
But I think he's like part Hunter Thompson, but
just a little bit.
But also, like a stammering Don Knotts. He's
but trying to be cool like a Western hero. Yeah.
But he's very intelligent in that he knows the situation he's in. He really understands it better than anybody else, and he's kind of playing his way out.
Yeah. He's definitely.
Well, he's using his theater experience.
Yes.
He's kind of doing improv. He's doing improv, but he's actually really smart. He's not bullshitting his way through as much as you think, because he does figure so much stuff out.
And then it turns into a mystery at the end,
I was liking the mystery
Charlie
aspect
Chan,
of it.
Oriental Express.
When that canyon chase scene was happening, I was getting Mad Max Fury Road vibes.
Oh yeah.
I don't know about you guys.
The music was excellent too. I was talking about the sound, how they redid Flight of the Valkyries.
Yes.
But they redid it like
with the banjo,
blues, and a jaw harp, and it's
It
was excellent.
And those mariachi owls, and one of them one time played an electric guitar.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, the mariachi owls were excellent.
They were
He's
going
to
die.
Excellent. They sounded really good. They sounded really good. Like
who was the voice of those? Did you? Because I didn't. I
didn't
thought it
even
would be
get into the
Antonio
list.
Banderas, but I didn't even get as far as finding out who they were.
Oh, did you? That's a good question. Let's find out.
I didn't know if it was an actual Spaniard talking.
My page ever loads.
Or if it was someone pretending to be a Spaniard, a
Which
Mexican.
one's Priscilla?
All right. Priscilla
I'm not sure. Was Priscilla the little girl? The little possum or whatever she was?
Yeah. You didn't bring back no water, did you?
Yeah. Beans.
Alfred Molina?
Yeah, he was Roadkill.
Which one's the one that got run over?
The armadillo in the beginning.
That was which was very gruesome and gross. That whole thing.
Yeah, it was actually a little painful
really
to look
gross.
at that. And the actor who did Beans, Isla Fisher, however you say, I would have never known that was her. Like the voice acting in here.
But you picked up on something goofy about her voice.
Well, yeah, her accent is weird. That southern accent is weird.
She's super Western. She's real Western.
Western? Like
yeah,
I've never
Western.
Yeah, well, she's Australian, right? So.
Oh, is she?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
I think so, or something. She's something. She's not American.
Oh, okay. So I didn't know that.
That's when he picked up on that. I pointed it out to him, and then we were both like, "Oh."
Oh, interesting. Yeah. Cool.
Who else is this? Henry Dean Stanton. I for sure heard his voice somewhere.
He was
Stephen
Balthazar,
Root, of course.
Ray Winstone was Bad Bill.
Bad
Which one was
Bill.
Bad Bill? Oh, who was he?
Was he the Gila monster?
He was the guy.
Ray Winstone has the thick English voice. You know, he's not going to do. I don't think Ray Winstone's doing a southern voice.
Yeah. So the Gila
What
monster.
did he do? Okay.
The Gila monster is a Cockney.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Ah, okay. Yeah, I was impressed. I can see why this movie cost the amount of money that it did. It cost 135 million. I think it made 230 something or 260 something million.
Yeah. So it didn't do as well as it should have at the box office, but it did win an Oscar.
Yeah, did win an Oscar, well deserved. If they ever re-release this thing, I would go see it on the big screen.
Yeah.
I wish that I wasn't super big into going to the movie theaters back in 2011. But
now I want to see what it was competing against in 2012.
Yeah, what was it competing against? I'm curious.
Because I'm like, did it? How well did it win?
Okay.
Like, I know it sounds stupid. But...
Let me look up what were the best animated features for.
What was it up against? Yeah, if we could just hear the top four, then that would probably like answer that question.
Did you guys notice they used the theme from Raising Arizona?
No.
I thought I picked up on something that I recognized.
Yeah. So it was when the eagle or hawk or whatever was chasing Rango through the town.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh wait, so that wasn't before Raising Arizona?
I mean, it could have been, but it's
that was definitely in Raising Arizona.
Oh, that's a good question.
Okay, so in 2011, these were the things it was up against. It was up against A Cat in Pants, which I don't think I've heard of.
No, forget
Chico
that.
and Rita, which I haven't heard of.
Forget that.
But Kung Fu Panda 2 and Puss in Boots.
Oh wow.
Oh, okay.
So
Puss in Boots 2 won, right?
Puss in Boots 2 won. You mean
2022?
recently? No, Guillermo
The
del
Last
Toro.
Wish?
The Pinocchio.
Pinocchio beat
movie
Last
won.
Wish? That's hard to believe.
Yes, which is
That's hard to believe.
unfortunate because
seen it, but like,
Last Wish was
what I hear.
so much better.
Last Wish was excellent.
And the character of the wolf, I love that character.
My son was singing that song for weeks. He loved it. It's a
This scene right
song,
there,
too.
I swear, when he turns around and sees that bird.
I love how the bird had like a.
He had a metal
beak,
beak, like a
metal beak.
steel-tipped beak, and I was
Yeah,
wondering.
I wonder if
It's like a
how did that
cowboy.
back in the day. They probably did do that for birds, right? They probably put
They might would have,
like,
wouldn't surprise me.
metal
Or are they
beaks
going
on
to show
birds and
that
make them
part
tougher.
where he turns around and he runs off?
Well, it's like the trailer, it seems, right?
This is. And he's. then he goes,
That's like
real
something
fast
Johnny
around
Depp would do. I feel like he did a comedy where he played a goofy
Johnny Depp is
goofy
funny.
detective. What was that? The movie
Sleepy
he played?
Hollow?
No. Oh, that one he plays like the From Hell. He also plays a
From Hell,
jittery
but
dude. But no, but it was not that
Nothing
one.
goofy.
no, I don't think he
Nothing
was
that
goofy or jittery in From Hell.
And
I
From
don't
Hell,
remember.
yeah, he was. I think.
I remember
so,
him
no?
being that way in Sleepy Hollow.
Sleepy Hollow, but also what's the movie where he plays an inspector or something? I can't remember. But yeah, he plays a bumbling inspector. I think. And this was around
the bumbling inspector.
This was around Pirates of the Caribbean too, right?
2011.
I feel like that was another thing that probably was working in his favor. I think Gore Verbinski, didn't he direct Pirates of the Caribbean?
He did.
Okay, so that makes sense that they would be working together in between.
They worked on a movie together. Gore Verbinski, didn't he work on the Ring movie? I think he did the Ring.
Oh, I don't know.
No,
I think so.
It's not on the list of known for here, unless.
Let me see. Hold on, I'll look.
It's
Yeah, he did do the Ring in 2002.
Oh, there it is.
Yeah, and
he did Pirates.
He did he did actually
the Mexican.
Oh, he did
1,
all the
2,
Pirates,
and
and then they capped it with Rango.
And he worked with Johnny also in The Lone Ranger.
Oh, and the Mexican. No. That's not the movie that I think it is.
The Mexican is the movie with Brad Pitt and Julia Roberts.
Right. Yeah. No, I'm getting it confused with the one with Johnny Depp. The Desperado trilogy.
Oh, yeah, the sequel to Desperado.
What one's that called?
Are you a Mexican or a Mexican?
Yeah.
What's that one called? Shoot, I forget what that one is called.
That's my favorite line. Once Upon a Time in Mexico.
Yeah,
Once a Time in Mexico. Yeah. So they've worked together.
Melissa.
You know what? Speaking of Walter Mitty, you know what's funny? Gore Verbinski was an executive producer on the remake.
The remake of what again?
The Walter Mitty remake. Yeah, I was talking about Walter Mitty in Rango.
I like the Walter Mitty remake. I didn't watch the first one, but I enjoyed the second one.
Huh.
I've never watched the remake. The original was so much fun.
It was fun. It's a movie about he goes on an adventure around the world, and he goes. I think in the movie he does like. Yeah, I think they just probably changed around some of the bits, some of the ideas of it, but it's ultimately.
Have you seen the original, Jeff? It's
I haven't
fun.
seen either.
Danny Kaye was really good in it.
The soundtrack for the newer one is excellent.
Okay.
There's a really good OST.
I'll have to check it out. Well,
maybe I'll eventually.
The thing about reviewing a movie this good is it's kind of hard to find things to talk about. It's just like all great. I really, there's nothing to complain about.
I had only one little tiny thing, and it's not even a big deal.
Yeah, I have something too, probably, yeah.
Mine was that it felt like they were getting a little bit too tropey and repetitive with some of the funny dialogue and stuff that they were parroting. That was it.
Okay.
That was the only thing. But it's like, it's nothing.
A little
overboard sometimes with it, because then it stopped being a little funny sometimes, because by then it had worn off and it was like, oh, okay, haha, I see what you did there, haha. But that was not anything that lasted long with me, because then of course the story progressed, got beyond all that and moved forward. So
right,
yeah, I loved it.
Yeah, my only little thing was probably like, I don't know why, there was something about the movie that just made me feel a little disconnected from it. I don't know, just the way he like kind of tumbles from his life, his existence. Like there's something just very existential about it.
There's just a little bit too much left up to chance, and he
flies out. So he's completely disconnected from whoever was his like family, his life. Yeah. It's like he's just
which
gone.
I imagine would be the case with a lizard.
And yeah, he's rolling with it, but he's never like he never comes on. He never comes back to that. To his. I mean, he comes into that big section at the end that's kind of like a Deus Ex Machina, kind of like you're here with God, and there's that conversation with Clint Eastwood, and he's kind of like confronting his existence, but they never address his existence. And that's kind of the thing that I feel is missing. But that's, once again, it's a tiny gripe. But it's like the fact that we never come back to that. The fact that he lived his whole life inside of a
he was
terrarium.
just a pet. Yeah.
It was just a pet, and like he goes on this adventure. He fails, he succeeds, but like he's kind of okay in the end, right? Like he doesn't. And that's the only thing, I guess.
Did you guys notice that he, even though he was a chameleon, that he couldn't blend in, he couldn't fit in? He was supposed to be a chameleon. He was a chameleon, and he couldn't.
He didn't know how.
Remember? Okay.
Yeah.
So when that one weird toad thing is a rock
at the beginning,
right?
Yeah,
and it's like hide or whatever, don't move, and he's like, oh, and like he sees the hawk and he starts running around and trying to blend in, and then he lays down next to the rock guy, and he starts changing all sorts of different colors. Yeah. But he doesn't change into a color that's useful.
Right, exactly. And like when he was with the Twizzlers.
Yeah.
In the machine.
Yeah. That's an interesting thing. Like he's a chameleon, but
he doesn't fit in.
Something that has to do with his past that was never expressed or like even in a flashback or anything. Like there was no. Like, he's not good at changing colors. Why? Is that
maybe because he was just maybe because he was just a pet. Maybe he was a pet his whole life, and he never.
Exactly. That's
those
like
instinctive
implied.
Things never kind of came to be fully realized.
Yeah, and that makes perfect sense. But we never saw it in action before it happened.
Yeah.
So he's just kind of like that. That's the disconnection that I felt. But beyond that, like all the action inside of what he's doing, that he's living all these movies is excellent. It's fun.
Yeah.
All right. I'm
Great film.
I'm gonna say a 9.
Yeah, same.
Yeah, I would say probably 8 to 9. I rated it 4 out of 5 on Letterboxd.
So 8.5.
Yeah, I'd say 8.5 is a good
8.5, 9, 9.
And I think we all recommend it. So.
Highly recommend.
Oh, for sure. Please watch this movie if you love animation. If you love just the voice acting and the Foley and the sound design. Oh my gosh!
Oh my God. Yeah, the sound design is.
My ears
incredible.
loved it.
Yeah, it sounds really nice.
Little tiny,
I was actually
tiny
thinking about,
things.
When I was listening to it, I was thinking about referencing it.
Yeah.
Like just taking a bit of it and like using it as like a, because I really liked the way his voice sounded. It was very warm and round. And
nice. And you notice how he does this funny thing with his voice. He does it too in the Pirates movie. But sometimes when he's getting really emotional, he does this weird thing in the back of his throat. Like his voice gets deep and it goes in the back of his throat. It's really funny.
Johnny Depp really is a master. I love watching him work. I love listening to him work. He's one of the best actors I've ever watched. I've ever had the pleasure.
Yeah, after Pirates, that was it. I think he had a lot of great
for me.
stuff
It was everything
that.
before Pirates.
No, I meant for the world.
Pirates.
He had a lot of great stuff. When Pirates hit, that was like
Pirates exploded. Like he was. I remember him from back in the 80s when he was this heartthrob because he was beautiful.
Crybaby.
He was. I remember him from 21 Jump Street. And he was
21 Jump Street.
He was beautiful, and all the girls loved him. But I remember it's like, he's too pretty. He's too pretty. And then he was okay, but he was too pretty. And then he was doing these different roles in Edward Scissorhands. And then Pirates came out, and it was like, boom! The whole world loved Johnny Depp. Like he became huge after that.
Exactly. So
that's
what I was talking about. I think the movie was called Mordecai, actually.
Oh yeah, you're right. That's it. That's the one.
And he was a bumbling detective in that, really?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but also remember that movie where he was the barber? Wasn't he? But was he bumbling in the barber?
Oh, the Sweeney Todd.
The Sweeney Todd.
Yeah, was he bumbling in that one? I don't remember.
No.
I thought he was a killer in that one.
Serial killer guy.
Mordecai. So Mordecai, you know what's funny? I watched the trial last year. I watched almost the entire trial.
Oh, I was gonna ask. I didn't watch any of it.
I watched almost the entire thing, and when the trial started, I already knew that Amber had been caught in a crap ton of lies. But I knew he was going to have a hard time potentially winning his case. But they did reference Mordecai as because there were these different films he was working on during this very tumultuous time, and Mordecai was one of them. So it was Lone Ranger, and I think also maybe Rango, because I think he was with her by 2011.
Yeah.
So was Mordecai any good?
I haven't seen it.
Yeah,
I don't
Ed
you
Wood is
remember
ever
being
great.
seen-
good. Ed Wood. That was a great movie.
Oh yeah.
I forgot about that.
No, I haven't seen Mordecai. I haven't
Yeah,
seen.
what's
Okay,
Eating
yeah, I never
Gilbert Grape?
watched
That's
it.
another good one. That's the one with Leonardo DiCaprio, right?
Which one?
Gilbert Grape,
Oh,
What's Eating Gilbert Grape? Yes.
or was it River Phoenix or
No,
DiCaprio?
that was.
Or
Wait a
both of them?
second. That might have been River Phoenix. Hold on.
I can't remember.
Hold on. I wonder if DiCaprio. Hold on. That's bothering me because I saw that a long. Is DiCaprio.
DiCaprio for Gilbert Grape.
yeah. Oh, yeah. Yep.
Wow.
Okay. So, what is gonna be out next? And we're doing our next one. So Okay, so we're going back to our normal schedule, which means we're gonna skip an extra week.
Okay,
Yeah,
so when is the next? Because remember we got Vegas.
Right.
Oh, good
Oh,
point.
right. And that
Yeah.
day.
Well, let's
yeah,
figure
it's
that
supposed
out.
to
Yeah.
land on the day that we're in Vegas.
I'm looking at the
Right,
calendar now.
so- Yeah, so
Maybe
I
we
don't.
should just do the week.
Should
well,
we
no,
do the
hang
week
on.
before
What is
Vegas?
what is the week of Vegas?
No, we'll do the first week of November.
So
and
November
then-
1st.
November
November
1st.
1st.
November
Okay.
1st, 15th,
November
29th,
1st.
if we're on that.
So let me write down these dates because I don't know when my next clinic day is going to be. You
So
know,
wait,
my
when
all
is
day.
when is Vegas?
Vegas is from the 5th through the 11th. Yeah, like in 2.5 weeks.
Yeah.
We could just go do 15th and 29th because it's a long month.
So skip the first.
Oh.
Yeah, skip the first.
That's
the
a
8th, come
good
back.
idea.
It's-
All right,
it's-
so we'll do
it's-
the 15th.
It's 3 weeks, but
We'll do the 15th.
that way it gets us right back into because we want it to be second week. So
So 15th.
That means
and
we're
20
going like almost a whole month, though.
Yeah,
no
that's a-
problem.
That's a bit. That's a long. Unless
Yeah,
you
that's
guys do
almost a whole
something
month.
else in between.
2.
I mean, we will be
3,
doing like Halloween
4.
streams.
On
Ooh.
Halloween Day.
Yeah, on Halloween Day we'll have a stream, and that's the day before November 1st.
That's
Yeah,
Tuesday.
okay.
Yeah, that works.
Yeah. Okay, guys.
That
So,
works.
here's how it's
15th
gonna
and
work.
the 29th.
Yeah.
Okay.
But our next troll poll will be on the 15th, on November 15th.
Yeah.
That's
Okay.
it.
So our next stream is October 31st. It's not necessarily a Soundbooth Theater live, but we will be streaming at that point. So that's the day before we would be streaming Soundbooth Theater live.
Okay.
And then after that, we're gonna do
The 15th.
November 15th, which is the third Wednesday of November. Then we're going to do the last Wednesday of November, and then we'll be back to our normal schedule where it's second and fourth Wednesday of the month.
Okay, so we're going to try 15th and 29th, and then after that, 2nd and 4th?
Yep. Yep.
Okay.
So, for our next review, Dungeon Crawler Carl will be again
Right.
in the news. It will be, let's see.
Well,
if
we'll
October
probably be
31st is
on-
the release.
We'll
Then it'll be
probably-
the day after we release episode 3.
Yeah, that's right, because it will be in November. So
So episode 2 has the Hoarder, and episode 3 has the Juicer.
The juicer.
So we could do something either Hoarder themed or
also,
bodybuilder themed.
Industrial Strength Magic, one of those, episode 4 will be going up before the 15th. And the week before that, episode 3. I don't know if we want to tie anything in with that. So I don't know. We have Industrial Strength
Yeah,
Magic,
that's a
and
good
we have Dungeon
Right.
Crawl. Actually, we could
Let's
do
do
that for
industrial-
any day in November because that's a weekly release, ISM.
It's true.
So
We don't have to do a DCC theme thing. We could just go for industrial strength magic, I think.
Okay.
Everything is DCC.
So industrial strength
Let's leave these
magic.
to be something.
yeah, I don't know what that would.
Um,
What?
Basically, I think, if I'm not mistaken, the story is kind of about using technology and combining it with magic. So I don't know what would be a good. I don't know what would be a
Using
good,
Howard
good
the
thing
Duck.
to.
Magic?
Howard the Duck.
No.
So in Howard, it doesn't have to be Howard the Duck, but the example of Howard the Duck is that he got brought by technology, but the monsters that came from the other dimension were sort of like demons.
Okay.
So that's just an example of something like that, something that mixes those things together, Like Army of Darkness has the magic aspect,
gosh,
but
I already
does
watched
not
that
have any of
stupid
the.
movie.
Once again, not a great example, but just
I
I'm
love
trying
that
to. I'm
movie.
like
I love
circling
that movie
the
so much.
drain here, but no, but we need something that has both of those things. Like Doom. Doom was like, that's not a great movie.
No,
But
it's terrible.
Doom is like they're in the future and demons come. Oh, what about Event Horizon? I don't know if you have you all.
I saw that
That's a movie where it's like a
saw
sci-fi.
that a
watch
couple
that
years ago,
again.
actually.
I'd watch that again.
That's
I think it's probably not going to be on theme, but let's do it anyway.
Event Horizon.
Event Horizon.
Hold on, Event Horizon.
Event
I did a
Horizon.
reaction to that movie actually a couple years ago on my channel.
Okay.
That was the first
Okay,
time
maybe
I'd
not.
seen it.
I actually enjoyed it when I watched it, so...
Okay, what else we got?
Isn't
We
there
got,
like a director's cut?
Hellraiser?
Yes, but not really.
Why are we going for these horror things?
Oh, I'm just trying to think of things that
Do we have like magical... Do we have like...
Oh, okay, magic and technology.
magical tech.
Magic
That's
and
all,
technology.
That's all we need.
Movies
Okay.
about magical tech. Let me do a
Magic- Are
search.
there any? That's interesting. That's like a Final Fantasy kind of thing, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Like are there any like World of no.
Movies about magic or just movies about magical
Magic
tech?
and magic
Shoot.
and technology. Or maybe it could be like post-apocalyptic. But also that's like I guess that's like Star Wars, right? Magical technology. Durr. I don't want to watch
Magical
any Star Wars.
That's like it's bringing up like things like Harry
Heavy
Potter.
metal. We could watch heavy metal.
Yeah, Harry Potter's not really...
Heavy
Yeah.
metal is magic and technology.
Is it really?
Heavy metal.
Isn't
heavy
that
metal.
an animated movie?
Yeah, yeah, it's a
Yeah.
cartoon.
I also just bought like 7 of their magazines from the 80s.
The Prestige.
That movie's too good.
Yeah.
Oh no, is that the one where they keep making the?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's a perfect one. That's a perfect.
That movie,
one.
I mean, like, honestly, it is really good, and maybe I...
that
should
is
go to watch it.
absolutely perfect for this exact thing that we're talking about right now, because that's what he does, right? He uses technology.
It's
What about
it's
the one?
magic.
Is that the one where David Bowie is
Technology.
Tesla?
Mhm.
Yes.
Oh,
David Bowie is Tesla. Yeah.
God, that movie, yes, and it's Christian
Hugh
Bale
Jackman,
and Hugh Jackman.
And Christopher Nolan directed it.
Yeah, no, that's aces all around. I haven't seen that one in a while, so I wouldn't
I'm
mind
down for
like
the Prestige.
analyzing it.
You're down
'Cause
for the
I've-
Prestige. Okay.
Yeah.
Even
Yeah,
though
that's the
it's
Prestige.
good,
It-
it's okay.
Yeah, even though it's super
Well,
good.
we don't. It doesn't have to be
Really
bad. I think the prerequisite is that it's not great and you haven't just watched it.
Yeah.
Yeah, the
Like,
last time
well,
I
it is
watched
great,
it
though.
was.
It is a great movie. I love
Yeah, Carl,
that
it's
movie.
a really good. It's definitely a really.
Yeah,
solid
that's
film.
definitely magic.
Whatever
and...
year that movie came out, that I watched that with Arturo in preparation for a live stream discussion about it. So I've seen it maybe a year or so ago, but I definitely wouldn't mind rewatching it because
But Bill-
there's so much you miss. I think when you see it the first time.
Yeah.
Have you guys read the book?
No.
Timothy, my brother, he listened to the book. He said it was really good, but it's written like a diary entry, I think. Oh, someone mentioned Stardust.
I don't know what that
Stardust
is.
Stardust
seen
was fun.
Is that the
That is
David? Is that also David Bowie?
That was
No.
That was Robert De Niro, and he was really weird in it. Like I don't think he
Robert De
pulled it off.
Niro, Claire
was flamboyant, he
Danes,
didn't pull it off.
Michelle Pfeiffer.
It's very. It's
The
all right.
Prestige is better.
Yeah. Well, yeah, we know. So, but
It had
Bill
also,
voted for heavy metal.
But we've
And he
all
says
seen
it
it
has
too. I
John
mean, like, we
Candy
have
in
to
it.
remember we've all seen it, and it's really good. We know what we're gonna think.
That's
Neil
true.
But you
Gaiman?
guys
Which
have
Neil
both
Gaiman,
seen
though?
Stardust. I haven't, but like.
I have seen Stardust. Yes, it was Neil Gaiman.
Oh,
Neil
Stardust
Gaiman
is
did
Neil
Stardust.
Gaiman.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I just bought that
Stardust.
comic.
Stardust
No.
is a Neil Gaiman story.
Wow.
hmm
Okay.
That's crazy.
You didn't know that?
No,
Yeah.
I did not.
Oh, and
put
what's
that
his face?
together.
Mark, the guy who was. Well, I don't want to give it away. You haven't seen it, Jeff? Okay. Mark, shoot, I forget his name. Forget it. I'll talk about it if we watch it. I'll mention that scene. Mark something is his name. Doggone. That was like one of my favorite scenes in the movie.
Outlander, are
his
you talking about the Ben Affleck Daredevil? Is that what you're suggesting?
Wait, is that? But how's that technology and magic?
I don't know.
It's like neither.
I don't know. He just said a random. He just said a random movie.
Because Daredevil, I guess he falls into chemical
Mark
sludge,
Strong.
and that's how he gets his
Mark
powers.
Strong.
I feel like that doesn't quite count as technology. Like, yeah, maybe the sludge you fell into is a complex.
Yes, that's
compound.
right. That's right. I think what he's referring to is, I was
Oh,
referring
yes,
to
correct. Yeah,
Outlander.
Charlie
I was
Cox.
referring to the actor Mark Strong. I could not remember his last name, but yes, Charlie Cox.
Oh,
is...
Mark Strong is in it too. Yeah, he's great in it.
Yes. Yeah.
He's great in it.
And so Jeff hasn't seen it.
Stardust. Maybe we'll do the Stardust next time. Or wait, Stardust it's hardly technology. It's sort of technology.
It's
I guess
kind of yeah. I don't know. So are we
like
at an impasse here? We don't know.
I don't mind either one. I'm down for Stardust. I'm down for the
I
Prestige.
wouldn't mind watching the Prestige for the next one. So that's the 15th, yeah.
You want to
November?
do Prestige the 15th, Stardust the 29th?
Alright.
I would like that. Yeah, I feel like there's
Okay.
there's so much meat on
Let's do it.
on the Prestige bone that we could like. Nom, 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 nom.
Yeah.
Like I'm sure there's a lot to talk about.
There's
You're
a lot.
thinking about bones
It's another
because you're
movie
ready
about
to
movies.
eat that steak.
Nom,
You're ready to
nom,
gnaw
nom,
on
nom.
that steak. Someone mentioned weird science. Carl mentions weird
Oh!
science. Yeah.
I haven't seen that either. I haven't seen that.
You haven't seen weird science?
Oh,
seen it once.
I would say Weird Science might go ahead of the Prestige if we
Really?
were voting on it. Weird Science is it's one
I'm
of
okay
my
with that.
childhood favorites.
I haven't seen it since the 80s.
That was the kind of movie that like
Weird science.
you were naughty, like you're a kid and you're naughty for watching it.
Yeah.
And I watched it like late at night, like I'm not allowed to
All
be
right.
watching this. It's on HBO
So
at night.
is that what we're doing then? Weird science?
Weird Science. Okay, Weird Science.
Well,
We pivoted last minute.
That
Weird
was
Science.
a
November
pivot. Weird
15th.
science for the win. Thank you, Carl.
wait, what's more steampunk than actual technology?
I
Do you
think
mean
Stardust.
The Prestige? Or Stardust?
I was thinking
is,
I assumed
Stardust
Stardust.
is steampunk.
That's
Yeah, but
definitely
it's
steampunky.
that's technology.
But it's
right?
also magic-y. It's got magic in it.
Yeah, it needs to have those two things. I think.
That's true.
Star
Outlander.
Wars, yeah,
Star
but
Wars could be.
I don't want to watch Star Wars anything.
Yeah.
I don't think we want to like analyze George. No,
No thanks.
no thanks.
All right, guys. Well, that's an hour. I'm starving. I'm ready to
Yeah,
put
you
some
need to
steaks
eat.
on the
Weird.
on the
Science.
damn griddle.
Wait, so it's
But,
Weird Science? We're doing Weird Science, right? Prestige got
guys.
bumped for Weird Science for some
The-
Kelly LeBrock.
I think.
Hells yeah.
And Anthony Michael Hall when he was just a little tiny geeky kid.
Nobody leaves here unless you can't leave here unless you sing the blues. Is
Oh,
that
gosh.
movie or is that another
I
movie?
don't
Is that
remember.
Adventures in
I only
Babysitting?
remember little tiny bits and pieces
Oh,
of it.
there's a scene in that where Anthony. Oh, it's great. It's hilarious. You're gonna love it, dude. It's like Ivan
All right.
Reitman. It's Ivan Reitman.
Is it
right?
Ivan Reitman? I thought it was
You mean who
It's
directed
John
it?
Hughes. I thought it was John.
John Hughes. It's one of those. It's one of those guys.
I
that did
prefer
all those
Ivan
movies
Reitman
back
to
then.
John Hughes, but okay, guys, that is our show for today.
Yeah.
Thank you, Sin, for coming and being our cinema host. We will be doing Weird Science on November 15th. October 31st, we will have another stream that will just be about Halloween and having fun. And yeah, that's it. Thank you guys so much. Go check out the Halloween sale. It's going for 2 whole weeks, 20% off. All the creepiest shit.